Peekaboo!
The first time I saw him, he looked like a tiny teapot with feathers and the attitude of a giant rooster. Before I even picked him up, I already knew his name would be Teapot.
Crow. Good boy.
What I didn't know was that this little bird would follow me everywhere, sit on my chest like a cat, and eventually become my best friend. Teapot came into my life in a way I never expected. I grew up in the countryside, but at the time I was living in supportive apartment housing and really missed having animals around. One day, I asked the staff if it would be possible to have a companion chicken, and to my surprise, they said yes. So I contacted a breeder who had a rooster he did not want to keep for shows. Teapot simply did not fit what he needed. That worked out perfectly for me, so I adopted him and brought him home. Not really knowing what life with a rooster in an apartment would be like.
Alright, Crazy, come on, let's go.
From the very beginning, Teapot had a personality that was impossible to ignore. He had what I like to call a Napoleon complex. Even though he was small, he carried himself like he was the biggest rooster in the world. He strutted around with total confidence, chest out and head high, as if he owned the entire place. But underneath that tough attitude, he was incredibly gentle. He never once pecked me or showed aggression.
Yeah, that's right, hit that button.
He was one of the sweetest animals I have ever known and seemed happiest just being close to me. One of the funny routines we developed was a little game of peekaboo.
Peekaboo!
When Teapot sat on my chest, I would gently lift his wattles and cover his eyes for a moment. I have no idea how the game started, but he never seemed to mind.
Peekaboo!
He would sit there calmly while I did it,
Peekaboo!
and sometimes it felt like he understood we were just being silly together. Moments like that always made me laugh.
Peekaboo! Come on.
Teapot also had the habit of following me everywhere. If I moved from one room to another, he came right behind me. If I closed a door and he could not see me, he would crow loudly until I opened it again. I always felt like he was saying, "Where did you go?" He simply liked being near me. There is a video I recorded once of Teapot sleeping that always makes me smile. While he was asleep, his head kept moving slightly from side to side. It looked just like the way he moved when he was awake and watching birds flying overhead. I like to imagine he was dreaming about birds crossing the sky above him.
Good job.
For such a small animal, he had a surprisingly big presence in my daily life. Sometimes I even brought Teapot with me when friends gathered at the beach. At first, people thought it was strange, but once they saw him, they understood. He would sit calmly beside us while we talked and enjoyed the sun. He liked putting his feet in the water, but he never went very far, just enough to feel the cool waves touching his toes. Seeing a little rooster relaxing on the beach next to us always made people smile. Living with Teapot also taught me something important about chickens. Many people think of them only as farm animals, but they are far more interesting than that. Chickens can be very social and surprisingly affectionate. Teapot would come over if I seemed upset or quiet. He would stand near me and make small sounds that felt almost like a conversation. It was as if he was checking in to see how I was doing. I often tell people that chickens deserve the same appreciation we give to dogs and cats. They have personalities, they build bonds, and they notice what is happening around them.
Good boy.
As long as you take care of things properly, living with a small indoor chicken can actually work quite well.
Go on.
Teapot became part of every part of my routine. He was there when I woke up in the morning, and there again in the evening when the day slowed down. Over time, he stopped feeling like a pet and started feeling more like a best friend who happened to have feathers. Losing him was one of the hardest moments I have experienced with an animal. Teapot passed away on July 13th. The house felt strangely quiet afterward. For so long, I had been used to hearing his footsteps behind me or his voice calling when I left a room. Suddenly, all of that was gone. I still miss him very much.
Yum yum.
But I try to focus on how lucky I was to have shared that time with him. Teapot showed me that even the animals people often overlook can form deep and meaningful connections. He was small, funny, and full of personality. Most of all, he was kind. And I will always be grateful that a little rooster shaped like a teapot walked into my life and completely changed it. If you enjoyed this story about Teapot, like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss more touching animal stories.